Oh, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. In this video, we will be comparing Iain Valliere to Nick Walker, who are the past two New York Pro champions. Iain Valliere winning the title in 2020 and Nick Walker, of course, winning this title in 2021. I thought this would be interesting to do because we do have the New York Pro this weekend, so why not compare the last two champions? But also, these guys are actually very good friends and frequents on Fuad Abiyad's Bro Chat podcast. Ian may be my favorite on the podcast, actually. Maybe Nick, not sure about that. But we're going to take a look at this comparison today, and let's see if Iain Valliere can get a win over Nick Walker. You know, Nick Walker placed 5th at last year's Mr. Olympia. Iain Valliere placed 7th. I seem to be having some technical difficulties with my mic, but I'm still going to try to continue this comparison. So taking a look at this front double bicep, the first thing that my eyes are drawn to would be Nick Walker. He has great color. Great oil and tan, of course. Now, I believe Iain Valliere could be getting a victory in this shot, but I just don't think he executes this to the best of his ability. It looks like he's shrugging his shoulders up some, but overall and structure-wise, this should be a shot he should be able to beat Nick Walker in. His shoulder-to-waist ratio is better. Also, Iain Valliere is pretty dry, but for what we're seeing here, I would definitely have to go with Nick Walker. Iain Valliere is capable of winning this shot against Nick Walker, but I just don't think this is the best execution. But it's a great shot for Iain, you know. Iain, you should hit the shot a little more. Now, taking a look at this front lat spread, and of course, this shot is going to go to Iain Valliere. Nick Walker's front lat spread is, of course, his worst pose, and he has been trying to improve on it. Still hasn't been able to. But honestly, this was one of his better executions of this throughout the year at the Arnold Classic and the Mr. Olympia. No offense to Nick, but I think the executions honestly got worse. But this is a great shot for Iain Valliere. One of Iain's main knocks is he has a very small chest. Due to his big delts and big arms, his chest gets overpowered. Now, Nick has the same issue, but it's a lot more drastic with Iain Valliere. But other than the chest, Iain looks incredible. Now, turning to the side, initially my eyes are drawn to Nick Walker. He's a lot thicker, seems to be a lot more compact in the upper body. Lower body for lower body, I seem to prefer Iain maybe a little more. He has a little better hamstring glute tie-in. Then we go back to the upper body. Iain is also pretty thick up top, but as I said, his chest gets overshadowed by the delts and the arms, and even here you can see that. But top to bottom, I personally would prefer Iain in this shot. I can see Nick Walker winning this shot, especially on a bodybuilding stage. But here, Nick didn't seem to have the same level of muscle maturity or maybe hardness that he seemed to have later in this season. This shot improved every show for Nick Walker by far. Now, turning to the back shots. And yeah, guys, this is going to be Nick Walker all the way. Now, once again, I do believe Iain could be posing this better. And I believe Iain is a guy that just needs to work on his posing overall because a lot of these shots could be executed better, and even now he doesn't execute them to the best of his ability. But I can see that Iain is pretty dry, but the way he's executing this, you can't really see the striations in the glutes. And this, of course, is just a runaway pose for Nick Walker, top to bottom. The only thing about Nick Walker I can really knock in his pose is he could use a little more glute to balance out those crazy hamstrings. Now, taking a look at the rear lat spread. And again, guys, this could be a lot better pose for Iain Valliere, but he just isn't executing this to the best of his ability. He's leaning forward some, honestly making his V-taper look worse. If he stood straight up or leaned back, he'll probably look a lot better. But as you guys can see here, you can see slight striations in the glutes. But if you just look at the quality of his skin, you can see that he's very, very dry. Now, going over to Nick Walker, he is just destroying Iain Valliere in this shot. But once again, very, very small glutes. Nick still needs to develop those glutes. And this is the best rear lat spread I've ever seen Nick Walker hit. Nick Walker, you should hit your lat spread like this now. Nick's not watching the video. But we're going to take a look at this side tricep execution. And this is how Nick was executing this pose in New York. And I would give this shot to Iain. I mean, for one, he's actually hitting a side tricep. Now, the muscle that is supposed to be being displayed the most, which is the tricep, Nick does have a better tricep. But Iain does a great execution. He has a great lower half, great quad, hamstring drop, hamstring glute tie-in. Waist looks pretty small and is in check here as well, guys. So the side shots are always usually where Iain Valliere shines. Now we're going to finish up here with the hands on hip, most muscular. And Iain looks good, guys. He looks dry. But the main thing that just stands out to me is the chest. The chest is so glaring. And as you guys can see here, Nick Walker has the same issue with the big arms and the big delts and a smaller chest, but I think it's more drastic on Iain Valliere. Me personally, honestly, guys, looking at it right here, I like Iain, but I am going to go with Nick Walker before I get flooded with dislikes. I do like Iain in this shot, though. Now, finishing up with the 2 hands on hip for Iain Valliere and a hands clasp for Nick Walker. And this is Nick Walker's shot by far. You know, Nick Walker actually won the most muscular award at the 2021 Arnold Classic, which he won. So I guess it's arguably one of the best, most musculars in the sport, and Nick Walker is the mutant. But as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video, man. Overall, I think Iain Valliere took the front lat spread, possibly the side chest and the side tricep. We didn't have an ab and thigh from these guys from either show, but they will probably go to Nick Walker. Overall, I think Nick Walker wins this comparison, but Iain Valliere wasn't too far behind. If you haven't done so already, guys, like the video and sub to the channel, man. It's free. Very, very excited for this weekend's New York Pro. I may cover every single division, not 100% sure. I know I'll be covering men's physique, classic physique, 212, women's bodybuilding, but like the video, guys. I'm out.